I want to start this completion off with a bit of a yap sesh because I have a lot to say about the level, and emotions are kind of high right now because I'm recording this like 20 minutes after beating. But this level is the most like intense feeling that I've ever been put through with a level. I have never had such like a weird experience like I have with this one. And I don't really know how to explain it, but I kind of want to go over each part of the level and kind of talk about my experience with it. So I originally picked this up about a year ago now as like a summer project, and I thought, okay, well, this won't take me that long to do. Um, I was very wrong, and I got my ass handed to me pretty quickly, I'd say. Um, I did make pretty steady progress on it, though, over the course of like 2 months, and I ended up dying. I ended up fluking to 79, completely fluking all of speed, all of Etzer, and dying to a very, very weird place in the robot. And that would not be the last time I died to that weird place. Um, my fails are in the description, so I'm not gonna go too much over them. But it really felt like everything in the world was stopping me from beating this level, which sucks because I do really like it and I think it is a very good level, but it took so much out of me to the point where I could literally only do like hour-long sessions, and then I would just get so bored and annoyed with the level, and I would just not want to play anymore. And it got to the point where this became a recurring thing where I would practice in a copyable for about, I don't know, a half hour, and then I would go from zero. And because I'm very consistent at the level, I was very consistent at it at the time of beating it. I got like 5 ending deaths in one session when beating it. I was like, okay, so it's gonna happen today, hopefully. And I was completely ready for it to not happen as well, which also might go to say something about my experience. But I ended up getting very very unlucky with this. But what I wanted to say about the universe not wanting me to beat this level is like I would every time I'd play for 30 minutes and I would practice for 30 minutes and I'd go into the actual level and I would play. Within the first 5 attempts of going from zero, I would pass Michigan and get to Abstract Dark or Etzer every single time. This happened for 6 or 7 days in a row where I would get two Etzer or two speed or even to like even to like the final duel at one point. But like literally the first 5 attempts of me playing the level, I would get that far, and then I would not pass Michigan a single time the rest of the 45 to an hour that I would play the level. And so I would literally get one attempt, and then if I literally said to myself, I was like, if it comes down to I get one attempt, and if I don't beat it, the session's over. And that's all I can do for the day because I cannot do it. Michigan is such a wall for me in this level and never got consistent. Some days I'd be good at it, some days I wouldn't be able to do the first click of it. And it got really, really demotivating because on the days that I was good at Michigan, I was so pressured to actually play good because otherwise I knew the next day there was a chance that I just would not be able to even pass Zobros. Or I would feel pressure because it's like, okay, I have to practice the ending a bunch more than I normally do because there's a chance that I only have one attempt from zero basically. And thankfully today, the day that I'm recording this, I actually had a really, really good session and I was extremely consistent at Michigan. And my worst fail on the level was 96, and I got that a couple days ago now, and that really killed my momentum. But today, as of recording this, I got a second 96 death and also a 90 death. So I was really demotivated because 2 deaths at 96, and 96 is not a hard part. The first time I died there was to nerves, and that's fine. But the second time I died there, my SEO device disconnected, and it literally felt like the universe did not want me to beat this level. It's like I'm doing everything right, and I have the recording of me doing everything right, and you can hear my click, and you can hear that I hold, and I click again, and it just completely cuts out. And so it really got to me because, like I said, I felt like I was doing everything right, but the level just did not want me to beat it. It's also the most attempts I've ever taken on a level. A lot of them are old, obviously. I think I literally have probably 19k, 18k old, and then coming back. Coming back, honestly, it didn't take me that many attempts because I was only putting in, like, it took me about 3 weeks since coming back to it, but in those 3 weeks, I was only putting in maybe 300 total attempts a day because I just could not play the level for that long because it was that draining and that exhausting. That being said, I think my experience is not a typical experience for this level, and I feel like most people do enjoy it, and I do enjoy it too. I think it is good, but I think the balancing is really where it comes down to me not liking it, and this is where I'm going to get into each individual part of the level. The start of the level, the first 30% is completely free compared to what follows after it, but I do want to talk about it a little bit. It is really, really fun to do runs on, like doing like the parts around like Heinz and Heinz's area and like Lugia and stuff. I do really like that part. I like those parts, but I cannot stand playing from Codex's part, like playing from zero. It is so boring. But once you actually get through those, like the beginning like 3 parts, it does pick up quite a bit. And I do think Heinz's part is actually pretty fun, despite it being one of the, I would honestly say it's one of the harder parts of the level, but you're getting to there so many times that it becomes really, really consistent. And there are some days that I was really, really good at Heinz's Wave, and there was some days where I was terrible at Heinz's Wave, and I was dying there every attempt. So it's kind of hit or miss with that part. Then you come up to the hardest part of the level, which is Michigan, Zobros, Anthrax, all right next to each other, and those 3 parts literally made me want to drop the level and not play anymore. Like it literally became a sort of a like past Michigan simulator. Like that's literally how I was playing the level, where it's like, okay, if I pass Michigan, I have a chance to beat it because I have 36 to 100 like 5 times. I have 26 to 100. Like it literally is just past that part and you have a shot at beating it. And I don't like when levels do that, when there's one part that's so much harder than the rest. And that's not to say that the rest of the level is completely free, because right after that, I mean, Nazgub is free and Lugia is free, to me at least, because I'm pretty carried. But I also want to talk about the click, the green orb click in ViPriN's part. Wow, that click is... I don't understand it, because some days I wouldn't die to it at all, and then other days, I had a day where I died there, I'm not joking, 7 times in a row that I passed Michigan. I passed Michigan 7 times in the session, and all 7 times I died to that one green orb. And I would go in practice, and I would do it first. I literally went in practice and did it, I think, 10 times in a row, and then went back into normal mode. In my first attempt back in normal mode, I died to it. And I had no idea why that click was giving me so much trouble. And this session that I had today, where I beat it, I didn't die to it once. So that part is such a weird anomaly to me. But I'm not going to talk for too much longer. But it's better than me typing all this out in the description. The rest of the level is, I would say, pretty free. I think Etzer's part might be my favorite part of the level. Always has been. It plays really well. Abstract Dark kind of sucks. Once again, I've had days where I was really good at it and days where I would die to it a lot. That first click in Abstract Dark is a choke point for me as well, which I thought was kind of horrible because you're getting to there pretty often on a good session, so you're hoping that you don't die to it. Speed's part is extremely fun. I never died to the speed UFO, I don't think. I might have died there once. Yeah, no, I did die there once, but overall I didn't find speed too bad. I did die there a little bit. I died to the wave once. I died to the mini cube jump part of it, and I also died to the transition into the Serpunge robot as well, which is a little unfortunate. But overall, I didn't find it too bad. Serpunge is pretty fun. And then we get to the duel. The duel, there's not much to say before the duel. It's pretty free. I did end up dying twice, though. I died to the UFO transition once at 87, and I died to missing the green orb leading into the final duel at 90, which, who dies there? Like, that is such an insane thing to happen. And then, of course, the duel. There are legitimately hard parts in the duel. I didn't die to any of them. I died to the last possible click that you can die to in the duel, 96, twice, though. And I genuinely think that I am the unluckiest player in this game, because every single time that I try to do a new hardest, or I try to, like, do something like a hard level, I will die to the end a lot. Like, and it's not even from nerves. I'm actually getting way better at controlling my nerves. It genuinely feels like a law. Like, it's like you have like the laws of thermodynamics, and it's like the laws that Landon will not die to the end of an extreme demon. Like, I can't explain it. Like, Artifice dying twice to a bug at 90, Blade of Justice dying twice to 94. Like, it just seems like I take so much longer to beat levels than it should. Like, I haven't fluked something in like a year, and when I did fluke it, it was Bloodbath, which I was extremely consistent, and even then I only fluked it from like 79, so not even really a fluke, because after that it's pretty easy. But yeah, there's not much else to really say about the level. Like I said, I do like it a lot, but it gave me quite the miserable time. It's also the longest I've ever been on a level, because I did drop it for a little bit, and I said, you know what, I have to beat this, because otherwise I'm just not going to do it. I literally considered beating Carnage mode before going back to this level, which I would not recommend. I don't like Carnage mode either. I mean, I think doing runs on Carnage mode is fine, but yeah, so sorry for the yap. This is it feels really surreal to me. This is going to be my hardest for a while. Second hardest this year. I do think Artifice is harder than Blade of Justice, for me at least. But I'm just going to let the completion play. This was an insane ride. Yeah. Peace out. Holy